Coming up, Jonathan and Christine are searching for seals, and you won't believe what happens at night. Welcome to Jonathan Bird's Blue World.
Monterey, California, a West Coast dive destination known for cool water kelp forest diving. And strangely, a place I've never been. Monterey is located about halfway up the coast of California, 2 hours south of San Francisco. Camerawoman Christine and I arrive at Aquarius Dive Shop and meet General Manager Dane Durand.
Hey, Dane.
Hey, Jonathan. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Welcome to Aquarius Dive Shop.
Thanks.
Yeah, you ready to go dive an amazing kelp forest?
Yeah.
Let's go grab some tanks, man.
All right.
We head out back to grab some tanks and weights. We analyze the nitrox in preparation for our first dives.
Sweet.
The following morning, we meet at the dock. While much of the best diving in Monterey is actually shore diving, oh baby, today I'm on a special mission to film a harbor seal. So we need a boat to get to the best spot. Dane is joining us to guide the dives. We get a quick safety briefing from Captain Phil.
In the green box right there in the back is a Dan O2 kit.
Then we push off and head out to sea. They tell me that it's usually foggy and cold in January, but not today. Our local friend Arjun is joining us. Even at age 17, he has more Monterey dives under his belt than I do. It's only 10 minutes to the dive site. On the way out, we suit up. While most people prefer dry suits for this water, it's perfectly diveable in a thick wetsuit as well.
I've been dressed in a single tank rather than doubles with you.
My back roll entry is the very definition of graceful. We hit the water at the top of a swaying kelp forest. The kelp stays vertical without a rigid trunk because of the buoyancy provided by small gas-filled bladders called nematocysts. Purple snails live on the kelp. They eat stuff like bryozoans and algae that grow on the kelp, keeping it clean. Dane and Arjun lead the way down to the bottom, only 25 feet below. The visibility in Monterey rarely gets as good as places further south like the Channel Islands, but this cool water is home to a wide variety of life. Each column of kelp consists of multiple stems called stipes that grow from a thing called a holdfast, which is basically a ball of roots that grasp tightly onto a nice sturdy rock. We've come to this site hoping to get some shots of a harbor seal for a film I'm working on. But the seals have to come to us. With the light twinkling through the kelp, we have a look around. The rocks are covered in a purple coralline algae, adding a dash of color to the seafloor. I'm greeted by some local rockfish, clearly familiar with divers and not concerned about our lights and bubbles. Wandering around looking for subjects, I find a cluster of bat stars and an anemone on the sand. They're colorful, but they're not seals. Seals like to play, so sometimes you need to be playful to get their attention. And guess what? It works. Soon, a couple seals show up. zooming around to check out the clumsy scuba divers. Harbor seals look to me like adorable swimming puppy dogs. There's no way you could possibly keep up with them, so the only way to see them underwater is when they come to investigate you. This guy likes to hang out in a little rock overhang. You've heard of a man cave? This is a seal cave, complete with a secret escape hatch. And while I'm playing with the seal, Dale and Arjun have gone into shallower water to check out the seagrass. Another seal gives them a quick look. When our tanks are finally getting low, it's time for Christine and I to head back to the boat.
Well, the visibility changes here a little bit with the tides. And so as the tide has gone out, the visibility has gone down. But the kelp is still beautiful no matter what you do. And the light just dapples through between the kelp and you feel like you're swimming in a giant, I don't know, like a forest. I guess that's why they call it a kelp forest. So it's really pretty down there. And I saw a lot of cool stuff. And it's all right there in the camera. But now I'm gonna get out.
With our seal footage in the can, we head off to another site called Eric's Pinnacle, known as one of the great spots for color. Along the way, we encounter a bunch of excited seagulls and stop to investigate. They're following a sea lion who captured a small mola. Sea lions have a hard time biting the molas apart because they're so tough, so they slap them on the water surface, and the gulls steal pieces. Soon we drop down on the pinnacle. It's a pile of rocks rising up from a sandy bottom. The rocks have a strange, fuzzy coating. Closer inspection reveals millions of club-tipped anemones. The locals call them strawberry anemones. One of the ways these small aggregating anemones reproduce is by dividing themselves. So thousands of animals covering a surface are actually all clones of each other. Their short white tentacles have tiny stinging cells, harmless to humans, but effective at capturing plankton. When the current is running, they open up and feed on a bounty of food that flows right past. And my bubbles are going sideways because the current is running strong. I tuck out of the current to film a white-spotted rose anemone. As you can tell, I'm a sucker for a pretty anemone. Ironically, this species actually looks more like a strawberry than the little ones do. And in fact, in many places they call it a strawberry anemone. That's not confusing at all. Eventually, I have to leave my sanctuary from the current behind the rock and start back towards the anchor line. But it's impossible for me to stop filming these beautiful fuzzy rocks. If they weren't all full of stingers, it looks like a perfect place for a fish to lie down for a soft nap. And apparently crabs don't mind all those stinging tentacles. I fight my way against the current up through a school of fish, all pointed the same way into the flow. At the surface, there's mysteriously no current at all. So I take a nice rest from all that swimming with my best sea otter impression.
So here's something that's really weird that I don't really understand. The water in Monterey is warmer in the winter. So their cold water is in the summer, but their warm water is in the winter. So right now my computer says that the water here is 57 degrees. I mean, for dry suit water, that's pretty warm. And I've been in the water for like 90 minutes and I'm not even cold. So this is great. It's my kind of cold water diving.
After the dive, we make our way back to the dock. Along the way, we swing by the municipal wharf to have a look at the sea lions, who have taken over the lower deck. On one side, the animals are active and chatty. But on the other side, some big males are just having a chill afternoon. We can't go to Monterey and not do what may be the most famous shore dive in the world. More people have been certified to dive on this very beach than any other single dive site in the entire world. It's San Carlos Beach, or the Breakwater if you want to sound like a local. We wait for the sun to set because I have something special I want to film at night. Once it's good and dark, we start suiting up. Arjun and I are hoping we can witness an amazing spectacle here.
Let's go see what on this one.
Dane gives us a dive briefing so we know which way to
We're
go.
gonna gear up the car, do our buddy checks. We're gonna walk in the water, fins in hand, get the chest height. We'll kind of help put our fins on. We're gonna do a small little surface swim about 100 feet out.
It would have been helpful to dive this during the day first, but hey man, I'm on a schedule.
You go ahead and have a seat
It's
on the
low
back.
tide, so we have a bit of a walk to the water. The sandy bottom drops off very gradually, so we surface swim out a ways before we even descend. Dropping down to the sand, I make my way over to the bottom of the breakwater where the rock meets the sand. That's where the action starts. On the rocks, I find a fish-eating anemone. Yes, that's what it's actually called, because it has such venomous tentacles it can stun and catch fish. And it can sting humans just like a jellyfish. It looks so pretty, but it's also a deadly predator. Continuing on, I pass a garden of feather stars. Each animal sticks a couple arms up into the water to catch plankton. There must be millions of them on rocks under the breakwater. We're only about 15 feet deep, so people on the breakwater can see exactly where we are. I start looking into holes for an octopus or something cool to film. And I'm not the only one. Nocturnal hunters have arrived. Harbor seals are mammals, very much in fact like a swimming dog. They take a big breath of air at the surface and then hold their breath for a few minutes while they hunt for fish. Harbor seals have long, sensitive whiskers that can detect the slightest movement in the water. They can hunt fish in complete darkness. You might think our camera lights help them, but only if they're not looking our way because the lights can be blinding. The seals keep their backs to me so they aren't looking into my lights. The seals methodically work the rocks for fish by examining every hole. Finally, a seal gets lucky catching a rockfish. It's hard to keep up with the camera as the seal darts to the surface for a breath and zips around the other side of some kelp. With my money shot in the can, I start heading back to shore. But the seals are still working the fish. In less than 10 feet of water, another seal catches a fish right on the sand.
That was phenomenal. The seals were feeding in my lights the whole dive, and they followed me all the way into like 6 feet deep. And one of them caught a fish right in front of me on the sand in water that was almost, I could stand up. It was so shallow. So cool.
Monterey Bay reminds me a lot of diving at home in New England. The water is cool, but not too cold. And there are lots of things to see, from kelp forests to amazing color and charismatic marine life. And most of it can be seen from a simple shore dive. It's no surprise that Monterey is so popular with divers, a true gem of the blue world. Hey everyone! We just released Call of the Dolphins, a new film for IMAX and giant screen theaters. Check the website to see if it's playing near you.